Hello everyone, this is Belleron coming at you with another League of Kingdoms tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at treasure. What is it? How does it work? Is it worth investing in looking into? First thing, yes, all of the above, very, very, very important. It can be like 80% of the reason you win or lose a fight. If your treasure is better than the person you're attacking, you're almost guaranteed to be victorious. So definitely very important. Now, where can we find our treasure? There's two places, to my knowledge, that you can find it. First is at your treasure house. You can find all your treasure bits there. This is all the treasure. Or you can click on your account on the top left, go to treasure that way, and it takes you to the same page. So what is treasure? Treasure is an equipable item that allows you to get significant bonuses depending on what you're trying to do. So it covers most things in the game: production, gathering speed, attack, defense, HP, troops load. All of these can be boosted with treasure, and you will find in League of Kingdoms it is the art of balancing these boosts that will make you victorious or leave you crying because you just lost months worth of troops because their treasure was better than yours. So hopefully that gets the idea across. Don't sleep on treasure, don't waste your pieces. Okay, so and what I mean by that is see how these gold stars on some treasures? That means that I have fully completed upgrading one line to get a full gold star, and it will unlock the first level or the second level or the third level depending on how many I've done. So see how there's 5 petals there? So now it's had, the first one costs 10 pieces, the second one costs 20 pieces, the third one costs 30 pieces, so on up to 50, totaling to 150 pieces per treasure that you upgrade. Okay, so it does take a while to upgrade as a single line. Quite common in these MMO RTS games. It's a grind, but the payoffs are massive. Absolutely worth your time and efforts. Okay, for this video it's going to be focused towards more new players. If you've been playing the game for a long time, 1 year plus, you're going to know all this stuff. You would have already figured all this out, knowing how it works now. This is for new players, particularly free to play. If you've got the money, then you can just buy all this shit. But this is for people who don't have the money to burn, need to be careful on how they're spending their treasure pieces, because this is because I made the mistakes. Okay, all mistakes you could think of, I made them, I did them, so you can learn from my mistakes and avoid the pain, because the last thing you want to do is invest all your treasure pieces in the wrong one, and then you're left with useless treasure that doesn't help. Okay, first off we'll go through the pages. So you've got 4 pages, and you can change the composition of each page. You can only have one active at one time. So I've got this one active, then all of these treasures are active. If I've got this one active, then all of these are active, and those ones are turned off. Okay, so it's a quality of life thing. For the purpose of the new players, I want you to focus on 4 pages. I'll use my main for this one. Okay, so I want one page to be dedicated to attacking. So this is an archery main attack page, which is optimized. So we scroll down, 54% archery HP buff, 91% archery attack buff. Huge difference versus someone who doesn't have good treasure. Your second page can be, for new players, you can get a gathering page. I've got a production page here, but gathering is very important. You can reduce the amount of time it takes to farm a resource node. So it allows you to farm another resource node, and so on and so on. Just saves you time. Third page, Cavalry Speed. Once you get into crystal mining, it's quite an important part of the game to be able to farm those crystals. And to farm crystals, you've got to be fast, because you've got to beat other players to that crystal mine so you can secure it and secure the crystals. Fourth page, it's kind of up to you. Make it a personalized one. Do whatever you so please on your fourth page. I am quite chill, so this page is just an everything page. I've got like training rate, training speed, research speed, at construction speed. So if I ever need to do something, I just flip to this page, and then everything's optimized and ready to go. Let's go for, let's have a look. So there's four different types of, four different levels of treasure. You've got your basic treasure, you've got your magic treasure, which is blue, epic treasure, which is purple, and legendary treasure, which is orange/gold. Each is harder to upgrade, so easy to upgrade. Blue's easy-ish to upgrade, purple's hard to upgrade, and legendary takes an extreme amount of time to upgrade. It can take a year to get your first couple of stars on your legendaries. So that's what I mean is like why it's so important to be very mindful on how you're spending your treasures. If you're an infantry main, you want to be upgrading your infantry treasures. If you're an archery main, you want to be upgrading your archery treasures, and so on and so forth. Let's start off with the basics. Okay, so in general, they're pretty bad. They're the easiest to acquire. You get a lot of them from your blue chests, which you get from farming monsters or your daily logins. The main, like the combat ones, not really worth bothering, but if you're new to the game and free to play, these are actually quite nice. You get a 10% food gathering speed from the plow, 10% stone gathering speed from the chisel, not that one. The pick gives you 10% gathering speed on gold, and 10% gathering speed on your lumber. Okay, so very nice to have in the early game when you're just trying to get those first initial resources to upgrade your buildings and your troops. But otherwise, I wouldn't really worry about the combat side of things. Okay, now the blue ones are a completely different story, in my opinion. Almost better than the purples, because of how much easier it is to upgrade the purple treasures. In regards to the purples, you can easily achieve getting 3 stars on all your purple treasures, as long as you're farming the treasure goblins. If you are familiar with my channel or my videos already, I did a really good tips and tricks video regarding why you should be farming treasure goblins, how to farm treasure goblins, and things to focus on there. I'll go over each and every blue one here, because they are just that good. Start off with the war flag. So the war flag is it covers all troop types, and is just a very, very solid treasure item to have, particularly in defense or attack. If someone's attacking your castle, you've got it equipped. Each and every troop has a 17% stats buff, which is huge. It's very, very nice for a singular piece of treasure. Your second one you want to focus on depends on what you're maining. So if you're a cavalry main, upgrade your black horse to 3 stars. You get a really nice cavalry speed buff there. Cavalry training rate, which lets you train more troops at once, which is just a quality of life thing. Really, it's just make things a little bit easier. If you're an archery main, the longbow is a very, very nice item with an 8% attack buff there, 7% attack buff there, and a 5% troops attack buff there. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to go for infantry. Infantry defense buff, very, very nice. Makes your infantry nice and tough and tanky, and will make them last longer during the combat sequence. I'll go over combat sequence later down the track. N+ has been putting in some updates, changing it, so I don't want to make a video on something and then it changes and everyone's operating on the wrong information. So I'll just be patient for that one. Second one would be potions. Now, potions are They're very strong. Your potion of strength there. Archery attack 8%, archery attack 7%, troops attack 4%. So that's a total 19% attack buff to your archers if you equip this. And then it also works with your cavalry and infantry, but obviously it's optimized to archers. For your HP potion, which is like the second rank best stat, attacks your first best rank, second rank is healing or HP. 8% infantry buff, 7% infantry buff, 4% troops buff. Okay, so it's skewed towards the infantry, but still like a nice item to have. Works really nice on your cavalry as well. Or your swiftness. Now this is very good for your crystal miners out there. 8% cavalry speed, 7% cavalry speed, 4% troop speed. I'll go over powers maybe another time. Essentially it's a small buff for an hour or so with a long cooldown one day, but it's nice if like you're about to hit a crystal mine spawn and you just want to be a little bit quicker. You can activate this buff and you'll be more likely to catch it before other players do. Shout out to the silver apple. You do get a 5% troop speed there and a 7% cavalry speed there, so it's a nice little add-on to your speeds as well. Otherwise, I mean, there is a defense pot, but it's like defense is, like I say, not that good. It's nice to have, but it's not like super important. Blessed branches is kind of nice. Like early game, like I say, production's not huge. You don't get that many resources, but it's a nice little thing to kind of have on when you're AFK and you want to kind of gather a little bit extra resources from your nodes. It's pretty nice. Instant harvest power will harvest 6 hours of your resource nodes' production, which if you're like mine, might not think like level 10s, 1, 10. So I'm not going to get too much for them, but later on down the track, when you fully upgrade them to 30, it's really nice. You get a lot of resources that way. Coming back, that's generally pretty good on the blues. I mean, your steel hammer is actually quite nice in the scenario that you are farming player castles, because you can only attack a castle 10 times in 1 hour. So you want to maximize the amount of resources you can gain from a castle, and load is the amount of resources that your troops can carry per troop. So a 10% infantry load buff is really nice. Lets you get a lot more extra resources, especially if you stack them with other treasures that increase troop load. You can get a lot. With purples, I'm not going to go over every single one, but just because they take so long to upgrade, it's going to be a while before you get to that point. And I would hope that by the time you're starting to upgrade these more, you would already have like a decent idea on how these treasures work. But I will cover 3 that you should absolutely focus first. Okay, first off, your Sage's Hat. Let's go to my main for this explanation. Mage's Hat, 10% reach speed, and the power to increase it by 5% as well. You'll find in League of Kingdoms it's about juggling buffs and optimizing every time you expend resources, and a 15% reduction on your spend is super nice. Don't be like Balaron and forget or just be lazy and don't worry about those things and tunnel on attack treasures, because in the long run you will be able to upgrade faster and level more efficiently if you invest in the Sage's Hat first. And it's the same for the Gift of the Dwarf. It does the same thing as the Mage's Hat, except for construction. So it lets you upgrade your castle for cheaper, and in the long run it's saving you resources and time and money you're spending. The last one you want to look at is the Gem of Vital. Now, 2 reasons. First star gives you a training speed buff, which is 5%, which is nice. Second star though, 10% HP, not to be underestimated. If you have your infantry and cavalry with 12% here and extra 10% there, totals out to 22% HP buff, which is huge, makes a big difference in those fights, and will leave you victorious a lot more. I'll go over the dragons too, actually, because if I sound tired, it's because this is the 3rd time I've recorded this video, because the first time audio was whack, second time my computer ran out of memory, so I'm like please let this one be the final one. 3 dragon colors, 3 different treasures come from these dragons. Okay, the gold will drop the cavalry focused treasure piece, the red will drop the archer focused treasure piece, and the green will drop the infantry focused treasure piece. And they are very, very strong items as well. In fact, if I go to my first page, I have it equipped now. This is one of the strongest items in the game. 10% archery attack, 12% archery attack, 10% archery attack, a very 32% archery attack. Man, that hurts. And you also get a really strong power 20% troops attack buff. Not to be underestimated. This any archer main should always be kind of hunting for these red dragon parties and upgrading this as soon as possible. The second one would be, this is the gold dragon treasure piece. Okay, so you've got cavalry speed 10%, cavalry speed 12%, troop speed 10%, a total of 32% cavalry speed, and you also get like a nice little cavalry attack buff there as well. So with the HP buff 20%, huge. It's like a whole treasure item. Okay, so definitely go for that if you're a cavalry main. And then your infantries are this. Looks so good. They just did a UI upgrade on like all the treasures, and this looks so dope. Infantry defense, troops HP, defense buff 20%, huge. Okay, so farming dragons, very important. Sort out with your alliance the time to turn up, where to be, and definitely try and be efficient with your team and get those unlocked as soon as possible. Okay, I will shout out the order portal. You can either buy it, so it costs your money, or you can slowly buy it from the VIP shop. I went over VIP and the VIP shop in the last video, but as you can see, this is not my main, but this is my main. In my alt account, I'm buying the pieces every week, every single time. I go past it. Yeah, so you can get 10 every week. Over time will allow you to teleport for free once a day, which is huge. Really, really nice, especially in the CVC environments where you're trying to be porting around and looking after gates and that kind of stuff. Really hope this will be the last time I have to record this video, but I really do hope that it helps. The point of these videos is to kind of educate you new players and stop you from making the same mistakes that I did, because I definitely wish I'd done it a bit smarter, and this is a little bit of insight on things to pay attention to. Any feedback would be absolutely appreciated. I know I sound really tired, and anything helps, but thank you so much. I will see you next time, and see you later.